You know, there are some stories that just lodge themselves in your brain and never leave. And for more than 60 years, one of television's most chilling tales has done exactly that, building to a climax of just four simple, absolutely horrifying words. I mean, those four words, they're just a masterclass in horror. They're screamed in pure desperation by a cryptographer named Patty, and they create one of the most legendary twist endings of all time. It's a line that's been bouncing around pop culture from the second it first hit the airwaves. But the real genius, oh, it isn't just in the line itself. It's in that sudden, gut-punching realization of what it really means. Rod Serling's closing narration just nails the dark heart of this story. And Serling, he doesn't pull any punches, does he? This isn't just about aliens eating people. It's about our fall from grace. The whole journey from the very top of the food chain right down to the bottom. So how on earth did we get served up on a silver platter? Well, that incredible twist, it only lands with such force because the deception that comes before it is so masterfully done. The story sets this perfect trap, and all of humanity just walks right into it with open arms. So let's set the scene. It all kicked off on March 2nd, 1962. These 9-foot-tall aliens, the Kanamits, just show up. As Rod Serling's opening tells us, their origins were a total mystery. They arrive on an Earth that's just gripped by one crisis after another, and they offer themselves up as saviors. But their real motives? Well, therein hangs the tale. And the Kanamits, they were smart about it. They didn't just show up making demands. No. This was a masterclass in manipulation. First, they arrive and they make these incredible promises. End hunger, give us limitless energy, stop all wars. Then they actually deliver proof, turning deserts green and giving us force fields. And that's when they earn our total trust, all thanks to that one seemingly perfect book title, To Serve Man. By the time people are literally lining up for a free trip to their paradise planet, the trap is already sprung. But here's something you might not know. The TV episode we all remember, it actually wasn't the first time the story was told. The original recipe, it turns out, had a crucial ingredient that the TV show decided to leave out. That's right, the original story was published way back in 1950, a full 12 years before the Twilight Zone episode, in a magazine called Galaxy Science Fiction. It was written by Damon Knight, and it even won a Retro Hugo Award for the best short story of that year. And this is where it gets really interesting. See, in the TV show, the Kanamits just sort of carelessly leave their incriminating book behind at the UN. It's a classic plot hole, right? Why would they be so sloppy? But Damon Knight's original story is much, much smarter. In his version, this suspicious translator, a guy named Grigori, he doesn't trust the aliens from the get-go, so he actively steals the book from their embassy to figure out what they're really up to. The discovery isn't an accident. It's the result of human suspicion. So whether the book was stolen or just left behind, the story is a perfect example of this literary device called a feghoot. And it's a fantastic word. A feghoot is basically a story that exists almost entirely to set up a big pun at the very end. The whole narrative, the aliens arriving, the utopian promises, all of it is just this elaborate, beautifully constructed ramp leading to that one perfect, horrifying play on words. So a story built around a simple pun. You'd think maybe it'd be clever, but forgettable, right? Nope. So why? Why has this thing endured for so long and become this absolute pillar of sci-fi and pop culture? Let's dive into its incredible legacy. I mean, just look at the critical acclaim. It's staggering. TV Guide put it at number 11 on its list of the 100 greatest TV episodes ever made and called the ending the single greatest twist of all time. But even more impressive, Rolling Stone named it the number 1 best episode of The Twilight Zone. Not top 10, not top 5, number 1, period. And its influence just exploded far beyond the critics. The line has been spoofed and parodied in comedies from The Simpsons' very first Treehouse of Horror special to The Naked Gun 2.5. Its reach is insane. You'll find it in kids' movies like Madagascar and all the way over on a death metal album by a band called Cattle Decapitation. It's even shown up on an unofficial U.S. Air Force emblem. The story is, quite simply, everywhere. The ideas in To Serve Man are so potent, they just couldn't stay buried. Almost 60 years later, in the 2020 reboot of The Twilight Zone, a thematic sequel called You Might Also Like brought the Kanamits back. But this time, they weren't offering us force fields and an end to famine. Their new method for harvesting humanity was way more subtle. It was consumer manipulation, all built around this mysterious must-have product known only as the egg. And that really brings us to the final chilling takeaway, doesn't it? To serve man isn't just some clever sci-fi story about alien chefs. It's a timeless warning about blindly accepting gifts, about trusting promises that seem way, way too good to be true. It forces us to ask a question that's probably more relevant today than it was back then. In our age of endless promises from technology, from corporations, from our leaders, what are we really agreeing to? And ultimately, what's on the menu?